converting our layers into smart objects can be enabling us to use smart filters separately without even affecting our original layer. So seeing that in action, we have an image in front of us, and I took that one in New York Central Park with high aperture in camera setting to have some shallow depth of field, as you can see, focusing only on the ground or the grass. However, we can be enhancing that depth of field in Adobe Photoshop for having maybe a shallower depth of field, or even you can be applying that depth of field on your images even if you don't have that effect within your image, just like applying Instagram filters. It's so easy, guys. However, first we need to be converting our image or our layer into a smart object. So right clicking our layer, we have convert to smart object, then going to filter, then we have blur gallery. We're gonna be selecting tilt shift, which you can find also in your Instagram. I'm gonna be applying that one. Now as you can see, we have some blur tools in here. Now we are on tilt shift. You can be trying also other blur settings. From here we have field, blur, iris, and we have of course tilt shift, and also we have path, blur, and spin blur. Now let's go back to our tilt shift effect. We have our blur in here and we have distortion values, and we can be customizing our filter maybe by dragging that one all the way down to here to have a shallower depth of field at the background. And we have our focal length only on that area of our design or our image, and we can be easing or grading our blur from here either like that, or we can get it as a gradual one, as maybe you're trying to mimic some lenses, maybe 1.2 aperture or 1.4 or even 1.8, depending on how strong you want to have your effect. So we can be increasing blur to have it so strong like that, maybe like a 1.2 lens, which are the most expensive lenses by the way. In order to get a stronger effect with a camera lens, you need to have a 1.2 lens. So we're trying to mimic that effect with few clicks, as you can see. And also we can be rotating our effect from here. If you would like to rotate your effect or get it back, pressing Command Z to undo that. And also you can be increasing your blur effect from that circle, or you can crank it down a bit, maybe like that. And also you can be removing that lower blur area, dragging that line all the way maybe to here. So customizable and so easy, just like applying that filter in Instagram if you have ever tried that one. Of course you can be turning preview on and off to see the difference, and you can be applying high quality of your effect, because if you're using large images this might be taking some time to process, so you might need to be disabling that high quality option or even reducing your image's size before you start applying the effect, especially if you're not going to be printing that image. So let me get that line back as it was, maybe all the way to here, to have my focus on that area. And we have also some focus settings in here. We can be reducing that one to blur the entire image, which is similar to that field blur filter, or we can get it back to 100% as it was and pressing OK to apply our filter. Now we can be controlling our smart filter. We can be disabling that one to maybe check our original image. So let's get that one back and see another example of using smart filters. Here we have another image that I took in London, and we need to be applying an adjustment for that layer instead of filter. So we have that one already converted to smart object, and we're gonna be going to image, adjustments, and we can be applying any of these adjustments. However, let's go for hue saturation, maybe for that example, bringing saturation to 0, having our image in black and white, applying that. Now what's really cool is that we can be getting to our original colored image anytime we would like by disabling that filter, or even we can be editing our filter. So let's select our smart filter. So let's say we need to have that famous London bus in red. We can be painting that area with black color to reveal that part of our image. Make sure you have your foreground in black and also your background in white. And let's maybe zoom in a bit. We have our brush selected. Make sure you have your mode on normal and opacity to 100%. Painting the part. Just to get it back in red. Maybe something like that. Now we have applied that effect within few clicks, as you can see. And also we can be getting that part back by painting in white. So we can be pressing X on keyboard to swap our colors. Now we can be painting in white to get our filter back as it was. So anyway, let's undo that and moving to another example for you guys. Here we have that design, and let's say we need to apply our smart filters on these two layers in here, our typography, Arabic typography, and that ornament in here. So we're gonna be selecting our layers, pressing V for selection tool, and I've got my auto select enabled. I'm gonna be selecting that layer and pressing shift to select that layer as well. Scrolling down a bit so we can see our layers better. Here we can be merging these two layers into one layer, or we can be converting them as well into smart objects. So right click, then selecting convert to smart object. Now we have these two layers combined in one single layer, and we can be editing them by double clicking on our thumbnail. So we have our PSP file including our calligraphy along with our ornament. And already our calligraphy is a vector smart object and it's included within a smart object as well. So let's go back to our design. Then let's go and apply another filter. And let's select maybe an artistic filter this time, and I'm gonna be going to stylize. Then find edges. And let's even add some touches to our design. So selecting our brush once again and selecting our filter. Then selecting our brush, and let's enlarge this one a bit. Then pressing X to swap our colors to have black in foreground and erasing maybe that part. Maybe as well for that area within our design. And also maybe highlighting these dots in calligraphy, and maybe as well for these areas. Now we have a very cool effect applied to our design, and we can be disabling that one anytime by clicking that eye icon, or we can get it back and edit its settings by double clicking that area. We have mode, we can be changing its blending mode. Instead of normal, we can be selecting maybe multiply or even overlay and so on. Or even we can be reducing our effects opacity as well to have different effects within our type. However, I really like it as it was, so I'm gonna be canceling that one and leave it as it is for now. And let's even move to another example. Here's another image for you guys, and this one also in Central Park, New York. However, we might need to be customizing our raw settings for that image, so let's go to filters, and in that case we didn't convert our image into a smart object. However, we're gonna be selecting convert for smart filters. Now it's gonna be converting our image into a smart object, so we're gonna be pressing OK, and we have our image converted for us. Going back to our filters, selecting camera raw filter, and what's meant by camera raw are these images that were taken by DSLR cameras or even maybe mirrorless cameras as well. Usually these images are in raw format and they need customization either in Adobe Photoshop or Lightroom. So we're gonna be applying that filter even on JPEG format or any other format. You can be applying that filter and customizing everything. So we're gonna be clicking that one and you will see it in action. Here we can be checking our images setting. For aperture we have 6.3 and we have ISO 100 and we have lens type 18 to 55, and also we have shutter speed 1 by 125, and we can be customizing our image within that filter. So for instance, we can be controlling temperature for that image, either to make it maybe hotter or cooler like that. Or maybe you can be customizing exposure. We need to be cranking that one up a bit, and maybe cranking up shadows as well. And we can be adding some clarity, maybe a little bit, and also dehaze, which is amazing setting by the way. Especially if you have a very foggy image, this can be clearing your image a bit, and it looks a bit like using contrast. However, it's slightly different from using contrast. And also we have other settings in here like tone curve. We have highlights, lights, darks, and shadows. We can be increasing darks a bit, maybe something like that, so we have better details, and also lights maybe a bit like that. Now let's maybe apply these settings to our image, and we can be stacking smart filters within one filter. So let's see that in action. We're going to be pressing OK. Now we can go to image, adding maybe levels, so we can be customizing even our image better. So let's move that slider a bit in, maybe a little bit, and that one also a bit in like that. We can be controlling also that slider for better levels of light within our image. Now as you can see, we have two filters in here. We have levels and camera raw filter. We can be disabling any of them to see the difference, and we can be editing any of these filters settings by right clicking our filter, and we have the blending options which we covered before, or edit smart filter. So we have our levels back on again. We can be customizing them if we would like, or of course we can keep adding other filters to our smart filter. So I'm going to be pressing cancel anyway, and let's maybe go and add another filter in here. We have stylize, and let's maybe select oil paint. We can be customizing these values for different effects. However, let's keep that one as example. We have that effect on our image, disabling that filter to see the difference. Or even we can be removing these filters by clearing smart filters or delete filter mask. Or we can be enabling that one once again and removing any of these filters. So let's say we need to be removing oil paint. We can be right clicking and selecting delete smart filter, and it will be removed individually. So let's do that, and here you go. So that's it for smart filters. Hope you enjoyed that one.